Atlanta Pizza Wars. Here near the airport, the owner of a pizza delivery business is accused of trying to get rid of a competitor by trying to kill him.
I'm so grateful to be here, and it wouldn't be possible without those officers and first responders.
Plus, so many of you have been wishing her well. Now this school shooting survivor with local ties speaks for the first time since being released from the hospital.
More threats at local schools, but do the investigations result in action? Tonight, a closer look at how the cases are brought to justice.
Live from Atlanta, 11Alive at 5 starts now.
First at 5, new details tonight after a 4-year-old girl is shot in the head in Lagrange.
Tonight, she is in the hospital with police calling this a horrible accident. 11Alive's Naima Abdullahi is live in Troup County. Naima, how is the little girl doing? And the second part of that question is, do police have any idea who pulled the trigger in this incident?
Well, we are hearing from family friends that little girl is out of surgery. Investigators are telling us that she was not the one who pulled the trigger inside the Benjamin Harvey Hill homes right here at the Lagrange Housing Authority. But they are telling us inside that home was the mother and 2 children, a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. On one side of the crime scene tape,
the child had been shot in the head.
A disturbing, heartbreaking shooting that left a 4-year-old child with a bullet to her head fighting for her life. And on the other side,
bullets don't have a name on it, so.
A community wondering why, how.
The whole situation messed up. I don't understand how the baby even got shot. How do a 4-year-old get shot? Explain to me that. That's my question.
And that has been our question all day.
The shooting does appear to be accidental. It doesn't appear to be anything intentional.
Who accidentally shot the child, her siblings or her mother, remains unclear tonight.
They need to get the guns off the streets, honestly. It's crazy.
The Lagrange Housing Authority say residents at the Benjamin Harvey Hill homes are allowed to have guns in their apartments.
They just have to be weapons that are registered, and you have to have a permit to carry them, but they can have weapons.
Police have not confirmed if the gun in this home was registered.
How do you excuse the fact that a baby got shot? Like, no, there's no excuse.
And now that the crime scene tape has been taken down, it can't take away the pain that these neighbors witnessed outside this home.
A lot of crying. It was just a lot of crying. Hurt, basically.
And one of the managers at the Lagrange Housing Authority tells me that she's heard reports that there has been an additional person staying inside the apartment. She's not given us much detail into that, but she did say if you are not on the lease, you have no business living inside that apartment. They're all 10 minutes ago, we heard from police, and they're telling us the girl is listed in critical condition. Family friends telling us she survived that terrible shooting, that terrifying shooting that woke up this whole community. Back to you, Jeff.
Naima, this is a story that it seems like we cover all the time here in local news in Atlanta, and that is children being shot by handguns. It happens way too many times in our community. Thank you. We appreciate the information.
Tonight, a sign of hope over tragedy. A rainbow greeted teachers and staff returning to work today at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Classes resumed Wednesday as students try to move on from the tragedy just 12 days ago. 11Alive's Melissa Long is here with the message from one survivor with local ties as she spoke for the first time today after heading home from the hospital.
Pretty important to hear from her today. So many of you have flooded the 11Alive Facebook page with really kind words, supportive words for the 17-year-old Maddie Wilford and her family after she was shot several times. Now, her injuries were so devastating, a first responder initially passed right by her, thinking she was dead. But 12 days, 3 surgeries later, she is now home and she is walking and talking.
And I'd just like to say that I'm so grateful to be here, and it wouldn't be possible without those officers and first responders and these amazing doctors, and especially all the love that everyone has sent. And I was sitting on my couch today just thinking about all the letters and gifts that everyone has given, and just like all the love that's been passed around. I definitely wouldn't be here without it, and I just want to send my appreciation love out to all of you.
Maddie's mother, Missy, graduated from Metro Atlanta, from Marietta High School. She says she's so grateful for the outpouring of support from the public and is inspired by her daughter.
she knows who she is, and she knows where she wants to go and what she wants in life. And that strength and power is what helps you heal. It makes you want to get up. It makes you want to keep going. She's an inspiration to me.
Missy's former classmates at Marietta High have set up a GoFundMe account to help out the family, and at last check, they've raised nearly $70,000, Jennifer.
So glad to hear she's doing well. But Melissa, we are also hearing from the attorney of that former school deputy who has faced a lot of criticism lately for never entering the building to confront the gunman.
Yeah, you're talking about Scott Peterson. He resigned last week after the Broward County Sheriff revealed that Peterson was on the campus when the first shots were fired, but did not go into the school. Internal Affairs investigators believe before he arrived at the building, 10 people had been killed. 9 were wounded on the first floor. But then in those crucial, critical 4 minutes, while Peterson was outside, 6 more people were gunned down. That was on the 3rd floor. So today, Peterson's attorney released a statement claiming his client has been unfairly described as a coward for following the established protocol. He's saying that Peterson believed the shooting was taking place outside of the school and then followed policies for such an incident. He says Peterson even helped school administrators to access the school's video in order to locate the shooter at the time. Now, the president today slamming Peterson, describing his behavior as, and I quote, disgusting, and said the former deputy choked. The president also told a group of state governors that he personally would have run into the building even if he did not have a weapon. Now, more from Peterson's attorney. That attorney didn't respond to the criticism by the president. Jeff.
Right. Melissa, thank you.
Tonight, we continue to hear from parents about a number of threats at local schools. The sheer volume is alarming. Since the school shooting in Parkland, Florida 12 days ago, there have been at least 27 threats that have been reported across our area. It's resulted in 20 arrests, stepping up patrols, and students and parents are anxious. One question that many of you keep asking on social media: what happens to students after they are arrested for making threats? 11Alive's Joe Hankey live in Cobb County. He takes a closer look for us tonight. Joe?
Well, Jeff, in these cases, students are often being charged with making terroristic threats. Prosecutors tell me if that threatening message posted online implies killing people, it can be considered a felony charge. Now, here at the Cobb County Superior Courthouse, I talked to the district attorney. He says Cobb County has avoided the uptick of these threats we're seeing in other places, such as Gwinnett County, where they've had at least 4 of these cases in the past 2 months. Cobb County District Attorney Vic Reynolds and Gwinnett County Assistant District Attorney Tracy Kaysen say their offices do not take terroristic threat cases lightly.
And I've let my juvenile prosecutors know, and they take these charges extremely serious, and they're going to pursue them as aggressively as they can.
In recent cases involving students and schools, a terroristic threat case is straightforward. Someone posts the threat online, and then people see it.
Put a message of that nature on any form of social media, other people see it, then absolutely that's a prosecutable offense.
With a copy of the message, witnesses who saw it, and a suspect in custody, prosecutors can then take the case to court. Anyone under 17 years old ends up in the juvenile court system for a mental health evaluation and supervision services.
What we can do is when we get that child into the juvenile system is to get those services, to get the supervision, to get that accountability so that we can address those underlying issues.
Unlike other judges in juvenile court, judges are unable to hand out serious prison time.
The maximum that juvenile court can get for the most part is 30 days in custody, followed by probation if it's going to be a county supervised child.
But up to 2 years of probation can follow those 30 days. In some cases, the child will avoid being locked up and only receive up to 2 years of probation. But Reynolds says they need to avoid future trouble.
Even if it's to a term of probation, it'll be heavy with conditions, and if you violate any of those conditions, then you may very well find yourself locked up.
And 17 and 18-year-old students, they can end up in the Superior Court system to be tried as adults. One of those cases played out in 2014 up in Hull County. A 18-year-old student there posted on Facebook making a threatening message against his high school, saying he was going to shoot up the school. He was found guilty and faces 4 years of probation for his sentence in that case. But prosecutors tell me if you have 1 or 2 felonies already on your record, you can then face 1 to 5 years in prison as an adult. Reporting in Cobb County tonight, I'm Joe Hankey, 11Alive News.
Well, have you seen this video? The owner of a pizza delivery business near the airport is accused of trying to get rid of a competitor by trying to kill him. Yes, you heard that right. He's accused of rear-ending his SUV and trying to push him into oncoming traffic. Now he's facing criminal charges and a lawsuit. All new at 5, here's our John Schierick on the Pizza Wars.
I'm really scared.
Who knew the pizza business could be so cutthroat? Sheikh Ahmed says for 3 years he's been working all hours trying to build up his pizza delivery business, Prime Pizza, on Riverdale Road in College Park near the airport. Ahmed often distributes flyers and coupons to some 50 hotels there, promoting his pizza to airport travelers. Except he says a competitor, a fellow native of Pakistan, keeps stealing his brochures, and worse. On January 17th, Ahmed had just left his brochures in a hotel lobby on busy Phoenix Boulevard when the competitor here in the blue sweatshirt, Hamayoun Rashid, confronted him. Ahmed says for 3 years, Rashid and his family have bullied him, threatened him, and he says Rashid was doing it again.
He's saying I'm a very bad man, be afraid of me. And I was telling him, look, this is not Pakistan.
The hotel security cam shows Ahmed trying to drive away, but then Rashid appears to come up behind him and rear-end him, trying to push him into traffic on Phoenix Boulevard.
Just a horrific assault, a violent form of aggression that could have ended Mr. Ahmad's life.
Atlanta attorneys Rod Edmond and Leslie Miller-Terry say they couldn't get College Park police to look at the video and arrest Rashid, so they took it to the Clayton County DA. And now Rashid is charged with aggravated assault with intent to murder. Edmond says the Rashid family has a history of violence. Rashid's father, Chaudhry Rashid, was convicted 7 years ago of murdering his daughter for shaming the family by trying to get a divorce. Now Edmond is filing a lawsuit against Hamayoun Rashid for trying to destroy Ahmed's business and for trying to kill Ahmed.
I was so scared and confused. What I'm going to do? I came to United States to do something in an honest way. I pay tax. Since this accident happens, I'm really fearful of my life. I'm really scared.
A man at Rashid's pizza business told me that Rashid has hired an attorney and said he would ask the attorney to contact me, but so far, no response. In College Park, John Schierick, 11Alive News.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. After a soggy start out there this morning, we have finally cleared out a little bit. You can see all the rain that we had this morning. This is a 12-hour loop that takes us back to about 5 o'clock in the morning, and when we were having all of that rain that was moving through. Some of it was moderate to heavy at times. Nothing severe. It pushed on out of our area, and then during the day, it was a while before those clouds were able to break up, but they are breaking up pretty nicely now. We're seeing some sunshine in some areas. Nothing coming into our area, at least for the next 24 hours. So we're going to see a pretty nice dry day tomorrow. Here's a look at how those clouds are breaking up. This is a live look here in Cobb County. Stay with us. Even though we're dry tomorrow, more rain will return. I'll have the timing on that and whether or not we'll see any storms coming up.
Chris, thank you. New at 5, 11Alive has just confirmed that big leadership changes could be coming to the world's busiest airport after experiencing the worst power outage in the airport's history on December 17th, stranding more than 30,000 passengers. Sources tell 11Alive a new airport general manager could be on the way. 11Alive has learned that an active search, first recommended by the new mayor's transition team, is now underway for an airport general manager, and an announcement could come as early as late March or early April. The airport's current general manager, Roosevelt Council Jr., was appointed by former Mayor Kasim Reed. He would also be considered as a candidate if he elects to apply for the post. In an exclusive interview with 11Alive's Bill List last week, Council said the airport has yet to receive large generators for its concourses at North and South terminals that would bring power back and serve as a backup until a new redundant system is installed. That system was destroyed along with the primary power system when a huge fire in December consumed a tunnel under the concourses where the systems are housed. The airport is working with Georgia Power to try to solve the power issues. And as they do that, Delta says it is looking for compensation for the $40 million it says it lost on the night the power went out. The airline also says it was forced to cancel more than 400 domestic and international flights. You can see Bill's full interview with the airport general manager at 11alive.com. You can just look for the story on our homepage.
The 11Alive investigators uncover a Georgia veteran who died begging for mental health treatment inside the DeKalb County Jail. Why this death and many more behind bars go uncounted.